Excited to be up here and share my message with all of you. I want to share something that actually just happened on break with you guys first. So a couple days ago, it might have even been yesterday, I had asked, is there going to be an order in which we're speaking? And they're like, no, it's going to be random. I loved the idea. I was like, oh, sweet. And then coming here today, I was like, I want to go first. And I'm almost last. I think there's like one or two people out. And so I went to the washroom on the break we just had. And as I'm coming back to walk into the room, my nose just started scratching blood. I was like, oh, what's that about? So I run back to the washroom, whatever. I'm like, oh, I hope they're not calling me next. And does anyone know who Louise Hay is? Yeah, so she just passed away. She says, our bodies are always sending us messages. And I looked up the bloody nose because it happened last weekend too. And so it's a call for attention. So I want attention. That's why I wanted to go first. And so I'll just ask you guys to just for the next 10 minutes, just give me that attention because I'm going to share something that, like the one thing I shouldn't tell you, something I've never talked about publicly. So yeah. My talk is called How Empowering Myself Led Me to My Destiny. And to kind of put it all into context for you guys, for it to make sense, I want to talk about what my life looked like before I found my destiny and before I was able to empower myself and take control of my life. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Growing up, like I always felt like, why are these things happening to me? Why me? Why did this person do this to me? So I'm going to share a few of those events. I mean, somebody shared, I think you were sharing, so with the abuse in relationships, I saw my dad was very abusive to my mom. So I saw a lot of violence in my home to my mom, myself, and occasionally to my sisters as well. So he was always asking, like, why me? Why did he do this to us? And then he left. He left before, I think it was right before I turned 10 years old. Never seen him again. I'm 32 now. And again, I asked, why? Why do I have to grow up without a dad? So it was really hard. And again, I'm asking, why me? Why me? Going to school, school was hard. Getting teased for, like, so my family moved here from El Salvador when I was just a baby, so like, we were on welfare. And so other kids teasing us, me and my sister, for being poor, for not being white. So there's a lot of that. And again, why me? Why are these people treating me like that? And so in junior high, I started to learn that one way to make it stop was to push back. If somebody says something to me, I would say something worse to them. If somebody said something worse to me, I would hit them. Because that's what my dad taught me, is if somebody does something to you, hit them. And so that's what I started to do. And so like I didn't consider myself a bad kid or anything, that's just what I knew. And like I loved school at the same time. I loved learning. I was considering myself a really big nerd. And that's like on my free time, that's what I do. Is like I read, I watch documentaries. Like I'm always learning something. And that's even how I got here. Was like 6 weeks ago, I didn't even know what Achievement Club was. And I still have no idea what transformation is. But I was down in, so I'm from Edmonton, and so I was down here with Elizabeth. Us and a group of other people had just finished our coach certifications. We became life coaches. We were like, hey, let's go to Calgary and celebrate. And Elizabeth's like, I'm going to this thing. Like, you guys want to come? I'm like, sure. Like, I'm probably going to learn something, so why not? And so as soon as I heard they were all talking about this speech that they're gonna give, and I was like, oh, like I'm interested in that. And they were like, as soon as I heard the theme of the night was something I probably shouldn't tell you, this light bulb went off, and I knew exactly what that something was, and it scared the shit out of me because I've never told people, especially a room of like strangers. I only before 6 weeks ago, I only knew 2 people in this room, and so I was like, hey, I have to do it because fear isn't a reason not to do something. That's probably the reason you should do something, so to overcome that fear. And so going back to my school, so I never graduated. I stopped going to school at the end of grade 10 because my math teacher failed me. And it wasn't because I did bad on the test or I failed the test. I was like, math is my thing. Like, my accounting teacher, when I went back to school at 8, called me the human calculator. And so how could my math teacher fail me? And the reason was because I refused to do it his way. They're like, okay, there's like 5 steps you have to do, show your work, blah, blah, blah. No, I just did it in my head in 1 step, and that was it. I'm like, here's my answer. And refused to accept that. So I was like, okay, maybe this school thing isn't for me. And so at 16, I'm not in school. What does a 16-year-old do when they're not in school and not working? So I started getting into trouble. I started getting into fights. Soon, 17, I got arrested for the first time. Got probation. Again, 17, I'm on probation. I get arrested again for another fight. This time it was a little more serious, and I was scared that I was going to have to go to jail. My legal aid was useless. So I went out and got my own lawyer, and all of a sudden it's like, I got this big bill. My lawyer says he can save me. How am I going to pay for it? So the one thing I probably shouldn't tell you is that I used to sell drugs. And I still carry a lot of guilt about it, but that's how it's ironic. I started doing something illegal to stay out of jail, to pay my lawyer. So I got the lawyer paid off, boom, done. I was like, sweet. Put a few grand in a teenager's pocket, loving it. Love the lifestyle. I finally felt like I fit in. I was with people that were the same as me, that got me. We were doing the same thing. The lifestyle, and like the money, girls, cars, all of that. And then the best part about it though was the free time. And again, right, like I said, I stayed out till like 4 or 5 in the morning every day, reading books, learning as much as I could. Because I never, the nerd in me never died. And so then, like I went back to Nate, I got my business diploma, and in my second year, I was 25, and that's where I was like, hey, like, what am I doing? And that's when I made the decision that I'm not going to do this anymore, but it wasn't that easy. It wasn't until 18 months later from when I decided that I wasn't going to sell drugs anymore that I actually stopped. And what made me stop was I was sitting in a cell in the remand center in Edmonton. Gang unit had walked in. I was working on a couple businesses at the time. Gang unit walks in the middle of a business meeting. Rodolfo stands up there under arrest. And so I'm sitting there in a cell overnight, and I'm thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I risking my life, my business, for what? They come into my cell in the morning, and they tell me how lucky I am that they're going to let me go because they were mistaken, and just I had nothing to do with what they were investigating. It was just guilty by association. They saw me hanging out with this person and that person, and they just took me too. So that day I gave thanks for being given another chance, and this wasn't my second chance. This was more like my 10th chance. I'm sure like Calgary's had the same kind of problems Edmonton has. I know a lot of friends that aren't here anymore. A lot of people didn't get another chance. And so, like Sarah just shared, I found myself enrolled in personal development. And that's where I got to take control of my life. And I stopped asking why me. And I noticed that I played a role in every single event in my life. It wasn't happening to me. People weren't doing things to me. It was like life was happening through me. I was a creator in my life. I have the power to create anything that I want to create in my life. And we all have that same power. It's by all the choices we decide to make in our lives it brings us those experiences that we need in order to be able to grow into the person that we need to be. Had I never done any of that, I wouldn't be on this stage today. I published my first book in April of this year. Like I shared, I just became a certified coach in September, actually working with that personal development company now, and so my destiny now is helping other people that, I mean, they might not be selling drugs or something like that, but they might be in a situation that they don't want to be in, and they just don't know how to change. They don't know the way out or something like that. So that's my goal in life now, is to help other people make those changes to lead them to where they need to be, where they want to be, and where their destiny is. So if I could go from a high school dropout turned drug dealer to author, coach, entrepreneur, then I believe that every single one of you can do what you want to do. It just takes you saying yes to yourself and making that choice and just going for it and never ever quitting on what you believe in. So thank you.